Okay, we already introduced transaction processing systems and functional area information systems. If we move up to the organizational level, we have enterprise resource planning or ERP systems. ERP systems were originally deployed to facilitate business processes associated with manufacturing, such as raw materials management, inventory control, order entry, and distribution. ERP systems adopt a process view of overall organization to integrate the planning, management, and use of all of an organization's resources, employing a common software platform and database. ERP are an evolution of functional area information systems by integrating these systems in a common place and making each functional area system talk to each other. This can eliminate information silos. Here are some objectives of the ERP systems. ERP systems tightly integrate the functional areas of an organization and enable seamless flow of information among the functional areas of an organization. In this case, if there is any transaction that happens in one functional area, will be reflected in all application functional areas immediately. Also, the ERP system provides information necessary to control the business processes of the organization. We call the evolution of ERP systems ERP2 systems. ERP2 systems are inter-organizational. That is to say, ERP systems are inside an organization, and ERP2 systems are not only inside an organization, but they connect organizations. Therefore, ERP2 systems provide web-enabled links among key information systems, such as inventory and production, to connect your company with your customers, suppliers, distributors, and other relevant partners. Now we can take a look at the figure presents ERP2 system in the slide. We can see the common ERP platform and database in the center in purple. And if you look at the top, you can see the core ERP modules of accounting and finance, manufacturing and production, and human resource. And then if you look at the bottom part, you can see the extended ERP modules, including supply chain management, business intelligence, e-business, customer relationship management module. Also, you can see customers and suppliers by different sides of the ERP systems. This slide introduces the major benefits of ERP systems. ERP systems make organizations more flexible, agile, and adaptive by breaking down formal departmental and functional silos of business processes, information systems, and information resources. Additionally, ERP systems provide essential information on business performance across functional areas to support decision-making. ERP systems also ensure quality and efficiency by integrating and improving an organization's business processes. They make significant improvements in the quality of production, distribution, and customer service. However, ERP systems do have limitations. Often, ERP vendors provide a predefined look in the software of best practices. For example, when an ERP vendor goes into several insurance companies, they take a look at the business processes of each insurance company, come up with best practices, and design their software based on these best practices. Here is the problem. When you put that ERP package and apply in your organization, when you implement it, you might have to change your business processes to adapt to the ERP software best practices. However, change the business processes could be a very expensive, time-consuming process. If you do not want to do that, you need to rewrite some of the code in the ERP systems to accommodate your business processes. This is also a very expensive process and very time-consuming. Just in general, ERP systems can take a long time and be very expensive to implement. How do you implement and use ERP systems in your organization? Well, there are two major ways. You can either use on-premise software or you can use software as a service. On-premise software means that you buy a ERP package, you put it in your computers and your servers in your organization and run it there. Software as a service means that you rent an ERP system software from a vendor over the cloud, and the vendor provides the server so it runs on the vendor's servers. This is what we call the cloud computing. Cloud computing vendors can provide software that is specific to their customers' requirements. Now we are going to take a look at how ERP systems support for business processes. ERP systems support both cross-department process and inter-organizational process. The cross-department process includes the procurement process, the fulfillment process, and the production process. The interorganizational process includes supply chain management and customer relationship management. We'll first introduce cross-department process before introducing interorganizational process. The procurement process is how you find and buy goods and services. It begins in the warehouse department. The warehouse department generates purchase requisition to buy needed products. Warehouse department then forwards purchase requisition to purchasing department, which creates purchase order and sends to the vendor. Following that, warehouse department receives goods from the vendor. This process ends in the accounting department. Accounting department receives an invoice from the vendor, check three-way match, which is whether the purchase order, the receipt, and the invoice can match one another. If so, the accounting department will process the payment and send it to the vendor. Different from procurement process in which the company purchases goods from a vendor, in the order fulfillment process, the company sells goods to a customer. This process begins in the sales department, where the customer requests to buy, and ends in the accounting department, where it receives payment. There are two strategies for order fulfillment process. One is sell from stock and the other is configure to order. If you sell from stock, you fulfill customer orders directly using goods that are already in the warehouse. You do not customize. If you configure to order, the company customizes the product in response to a customer request. The order fulfillment process works like this. The sales department receives requests for information from customer. Then, the sales department issues quotation indicating availability and price. If customer agrees the price and terms, Sales department creates a customer purchase order and a sales order. After that, the sales department forwards sales order to the warehouse department. The warehouse department prepares shipment and produces picking document that is used to remove goods from warehouse and packing list that is to accompany shipment. At the same time, accounting department issues invoice for customer. The fulfillment process concludes when accounting department receives payment consistent with the invoice. Now we are going to talk about the production process. The production process begins and ends in the warehouse department. You need to produce and receive finished goods, but it also involves the production department as well. There are two strategies in the production process. One is make to stock and the other is make to order. With make to stock strategy, the company produces goods to create or increase inventory. With make to order, the company produces goods generated by a specific customer order. In the production process, the warehouse department issues a planned order when company needs to produce a finished product, either because there is insufficient inventory or because the customer placed a specific order for goods that are not currently in stock. Once the planned order reaches the production department, then the production controller issues production order. After that, the production department generates a material withdrawal slip, which lists all needed parts and forwards it to the warehouse department. If the materials are available in the warehouse department, then the warehouse department delivers them to the production department. If the materials are not available in the warehouse department, then the company must purchase them via procurement process. After the production department has created the products, it updates the production order. When the warehouse received goods, it issues a goods received document certifying number of units of product available for sales. This figure shows three cross-functional business processes we just discussed. It specifically highlights the integration of three processes, which is made possible by the ERP systems. Although the procurement and fulfillment processes we introduced earlier involve suppliers and customers, they are considered intra-organizational processes because they originate and conclude within the company. However, ERP systems can also manage processes that originate in one company and conclude in another company. These processes are called inter-organizational processes, and they typically involve supply chain management or SCM and customer relationship management or CRM systems. SCM and CRM processes help multiple firms in an industry to coordinate activities such as the production to sale of goods and services. ERP SCM have the capability to place automatic requests to buy fresh perishable products from suppliers in real time. And ERP CRM benefit businesses by generating forecasting analysis of product consumption based on critical variables such as geographical area, season, day of the week, and type of customer. Okay, let's conclude what we learned in this chapter. We introduced 3 different types of information systems within an organization, including transaction processing systems, functional area information systems, and ERP systems. Transaction processing systems supports transaction. Functional area information systems support different functional areas. ERP system supports the entire organization. And then we talk about how ERP systems support different business processes, cross-functional processes, and also intra-organization and inter-organizational processes.